So, anytime, for my viewers that may not understand, anytime we talk about battle, war, things of that nature, understand that it's always a lot worse than we think, right? When people go to war with each other and they die, it's ugly. It's nasty. When you hear about when you turn on the news and you hear random kid gets shot, random kid dies, it's usually a lot worse than what you think to really sit there and see somebody with their brains in the street, or the dying slow, like it's really messed up. So now imagine an army going to war with another army. I know we grow up and we read about World War I, World War II. We read about all these different things, right? So we're kind of conditioned to think, okay, yeah, that happened, but it was brutal. And when you look at the Anzac army, which that stood for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps, when you look at them going into, what was it, the Turkish Ottoman or Ottoman Turkish, their territory, thinking it was going to be quick, and it turned out to be what, 8 months or something like that. Let me rewind a little bit.
The Anzacs evacuated from Galicia. 8 months of brutal warfare.
Think about that for a second. 8 months of brutal warfare, right? I mean, it's just nasty work, as we say in New York. Nasty work. When we say that, that really means just brutal, disgusting, traumatizing. Uh, 8 months of war. I don't care who you are. You're not going to be the same again. You're not going to be the same again. I often talk about how in ancient African traditions, right, that what we know as a shaman, they would when soldiers would go to war, that what we know as a shaman of the tribe would do months of spiritual work on the soldiers, because they understood that when you go to war, it shatters pieces of your soul into the ethers. So anything you do that's traumatizing, you know how when somebody gets into a car accident, somebody, and it's like sometimes they have that anxiety. They got to work towards that again. It's like anything that's traumatizing, even heartbreaks, even it shatters pieces of your souls, and you got to retrieve that back. So when we talking about war, we're talking about generations of people that's affected. Think about how many people died. Think about how many people came back and weren't the same. Think about how the people that did come back, how that pain, because pain can be passed down genetically. So think about how genetically, that may have been passed down, that trauma through the DNA, right? So it still affects to this day. So this is why I do appreciate when people honor, their ancestors, and honor what happened in the past, baking the cookies, doing things like that, because they're helping to heal when they do that. It's a lot of people that look at it like, oh, they may not really mean it as much. Oh, yeah, that's sad. They're conditioned, they're desensitized. It's so much going on. It's this, that, oh, yeah, that's horrible. Then they move on, right? I'm not saying they should focus deeply on that subject, but I don't think people really understand, is what I'm trying to say, um, just what's going on. When people are honoring their people, they actually are healing, doing their best. When you conjure up a certain energy and you bring love to that, you bring that love frequency, that helps to heal those babies that are, celebrating Anzac Day. That is helping them to grow up and be healed, because they may have had an ancestor who was involved in Anzac Day. I mean, in that war, that battle, and ain't no telling what type of trauma is in their DNA from that. That is the truth. As crazy as that may sound to some people, as weird and strange as what I'm saying may sound to some people, just walk outside. and walk and see different people, and you'll see that there's these different things going on mentally with people. Not everybody's okay, and sometimes people can't figure it out. And a lot of times it do be trauma passed from the DNA, especially through things like war, right? Through war, through pain, that type of stuff sticks. So it is important to, as a people, to do what we can to help heal those things, right? To help heal those things so we can have a better future.
8 months after their arrival, the Anzacs evacuated from Gallipoli, but not before many soldiers had given their life or suffered great injuries. In fact, over 10,000 Anzacs died at the fierce hand of the war at Gallipoli.
Over 10,000. Over 10,000. That's no joke. Um, I didn't know anything about Anzac Day, like I said prior to this video. So this is the beauty of being on YouTube. This just once again goes to show we're in control of what we pay attention to. Sometimes I may pay attention to some stuff I shouldn't, but overall, when I'm online, I'm definitely doing my homework. I'm definitely studying, and I'm learning about other cultures, like I just did with this video. And now that opens my mind more, and that helps me to understand people more. So shout out to New Zealand, shout out to Australia, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. All the innocent people, all the innocent individuals on every side of war that that went through it, and not just died, but that were traumatized. With that being said, original link in the description. I'll be back with more soon. Much love, y'all.